G'day guys, welcome back to Oztrek Gelsoft, and today what we're doing is just going to go through a couple of basically extras that you can put on the M92. We went through the metal barrel last week and installed that one. So what we have here is a metal barrel on the inside that has a thread, if you can see that there. So you can sort of drill this one out a little bit and thread it on the inside, and it will do the same thing as what I'm about to say if you want to add any extras onto the ends of it. But when you do buy the actual metal barrel kit, you will get the silencer that comes with it and a hopper. Be aware it does have the reverse thread on it, so if you are trying to screw it in and then screw it up onto something nice and tight to get a good purchase, you might put a bit of Loctite or maybe a little bit of tape on something on it. Either way, really tiny dab of really crappy super glue will also work, just on like a thread at the end. Don't let it go through and actually bind it on properly. That will be a big mistake. So this is the silencer and how it comes pretty straight out the box. You add obviously the hop up onto it, which is just sitting on here at the moment. So I can give you an example. It is a DK printed hop up, 3D printed hop up. It is a top and bottom hop as well, which I think is not too bad. It's actually all right, especially for the price that the whole kit with the metal barrel and the metal silencer all comes for. It's quite reasonable. It just takes a little bit of time to come from China, where it was coming from. So yeah, Xanadu really do have some good products. And what we're going to do here is unscrew this one to show you that I'm probably going to leave the Lighter S on it most of the time here. So the Lighter S is the big feature of today. It's a really cool piece of equipment really to put on a variety of different blasters. It's got a multitude of different say fitting attachments on it. So and inside it does come with a little lead, so you can plug your USB in and charge it. You simply charge it by unscrewing the front here and plug her in. She's all charged up, ready to go. So we do actually have a couple of tracers that are ready to go as well. I do recommend using the actual War Interest ones. They are pretty good. They light up really well, and this thing here actually does light up very well. I would show you it flashing on the camera by dropping something down it or putting something down here once you turn it on, but you're not going to see the UV, so there's no point. You'll see the gels once they're glowing. If I can film them at night, I will try and maybe give them a couple of shots, but we all know what a tracer looks like when they come out. They look pretty cool, and this does light them up very bright. The Acetech lighter unit is pretty handy. I don't mind it at all. So, like I said, you can fit it on a variety of different units, and that's simply, this is why I have the Allen key out. It has a little breaker bar in it, so this one here actually tightens up onto a couple of O-rings, which is handy. Also, another feature that you could put on the end of this, instead of actually sticking some Loctite or something on it, is just to put a couple of little O-rings if you have some spare, and you can buy them pretty much super cheap. You can get them at a lot of places. They sell bags of them at Bunnings even, so just like random little O-rings. Yep. So what we've got here is basically a 14mm. You can screw this on with a female. You can have it put back in here, so we've got the male attached to it. So you can, depending what, if you have a outer, if you've honed the outside of a blaster, so you can fit it on, or if you have a 14mm on the outside of a blaster, that you can screw it straight on like that. It'll work perfect. In other words, this will go onto pretty much anything that has a flash on it. So that will just screw straight on like a flash, and it's perfect. Now, this one here will actually, if I screw this in here like this, and then put that into there, it will go into the HK. It's a reverse thread, stupid man. So it will actually go into the HK and a variety of other blasters as well. But what we're doing today is we're going to convert it to this one. Now, this is not going to go on here. No matter how hard we try, we don't have a outer thread on it. You could possibly outer thread it, but I just recommend buying the metal barrel. It's just good. So I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to swap this one over into this one here now, so that now I can use this one here, the actual silencer, on a variety of different blasters. So to give you the capabilities of just like a couple of the features that you can put on these things, they're pretty good. Except this one, I dropped it and it doesn't want to line up properly now. Be very careful dropping any of these things. It is just like dropping a shell. If you've got any shells, any shells in here? No, for my shell ejects. All right, but if you drop any of the steel shells from a shell eject, they hit concrete, they will ding in and the inside insert will not go in it, or the gel it'll go through will get torn, and it's pretty much useless, and it's pretty expensive to keep replacing those. So in the case of a shell eject, keep using the plastic ones when you're using them on concrete, and on grass, just use the metal ones. And with these ones here, just don't drop them. They're okay if you drop them while the ends are still in, because they're just going to bite down onto the thread a little bit. But either way, this one here is now convertible to a variety of different blasters. We can go ahead and have fun. Like I said, we can unscrew this. We can put this on as a regular flash on the outside of another blaster. We can also fit it onto something with an insert, which is pretty handy if you ask me. So worth getting these two kits full stop, because you can use them with a whole heap of different stuff. So this one here is the actual insert that goes in here. And all we're going to do is plug and play. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fit the hop up in it. And you can't use the hop up in this anyway, because I don't know if you can see down through there, that's where all the magic happens. So this is going to be a, close quarters unit for sure. And I think a really fun one too. So it does work well. I've got a couple of hop ups for this, and the both of them are DKs. They both work fantastic. But I might actually put a little bit of a thread lock on that, because this one's going to stay on. That's plenty. So now I'll just do this one up and let it sort of go off a bit. Turn that one on pretty tight, because I don't want this one coming off. There we are, she's locked in pretty well now. When I screw it in here, because we've got the reverse thread, like I said. So, always good having a kit. If not, it just looks a bit ugly with the white tape coming out. But it still works a charm. And this one here is all ready to go. So, I might let that tighten up a bit more. Essentially, what we'll do is just screw it in. I want to put it very lightly though, so that it doesn't unscrew my lovely thread that I just put on. I do want it to come off the actual blaster, so I'm not putting any on that side of it. Just going to leave it there for now. I'll do any adjustments in a minute later. But this is what it looks like. It's pretty cool. It goes on. It sits solid. It'll even still fit in your pouch, which I think is awesome. It's not hanging out by ungodly amounts at the bottom here. It's not going to get hit by anything and break and snap off when you're jumping around corners. And if you ask me, it's a great little close quarters unit. I recommend it. I think that they're a really reliable little unit. They're very easy to fix if anything does go wrong with them. Really easy to get parts for. Look, you can put any part on them, interchange them. Really cool. Like I said, you do need to have the correct thread here. This one here does come off the actual Lighter S itself, the one with the actual O-rings on it. So it's a great little close quarters unit. I like it. It's really cool, especially the leg strap as well. It fits in the leg strap, goes straight back off. You can use it. Surefire, there's no issue putting that back on. Like, it just goes straight back on. Let's turn it on. I think there's some batteries in it. Hopefully we've got some charge here. So I should put some gels in it. and give it a bit of a shot. But otherwise, it's a great little unit. I highly recommend it. I don't think the Surefire fits in there, does it? Well, yes, it does. Just readjust the package a bit, and she will go in. So, loosen this one off. Chuck it in there. Beautiful. Look at that. Straight in there with the Surefire. Straight ready to go. Perfect. Actually sounds really cool with it on there. Yeah, and it's not in the way. Like I said, it's a very solid purchase on there. I just got to be careful how much I actually do it up, because I don't want to unthread my special Loctite that I put on it just yet. Oh, she's actually starting to go off. But the Lighter S, it's a fantastic unit. Go out and get one. I recommend the shorter one. You can get a longer one. Longer is, I think, a little bit more of a pain in the butt if you ask me. But this one here does come with the O-ringed insert on here. So that's what actually comes originally with the Lighter S here. We've taken this one off the metal barrel kit so we can convert it. That's the two key things that anyone needs to know when they're trying to convert one of these things, or if you are trying to put it into something like this. You could do it, you just need to re-drill it out a little bit and then thread tap it a bit, or basically go in there and quarter notch it as you're going in there, and tap it with its own thread as you're going through like that. And you should have a plastic pipe that's able to accept something like this. Look, I really would just go out there and get the metal barrel. It comes with everything that you need. Comes with that fitting there, and comes with this that you can now chuck on a whole heap of different blasters on the flash, or convert it to something. So I think this is a pretty handy unit. Definitely something worth having in your kit. And only problem is you can't use a hop up on it, which for close quarters, who cares? It's accurate enough. This is actually quite accurate within close quarters. It doesn't have the most punch, but it actually does have a little bit of distance. So, and this is actually not impeding the distance at all, even though the thread's on the inside of it. It's actually not impeding the distance or restricting the gel flow at all coming through it. And I just think that the Acetech deserves a bit of a shout out, because it's an awesome unit for a variety of different blasters. I have put this on the HK just to see if it fitted. It does. It goes on a variety of different blasters. It works well. So anything that you really do, I could undo this here and put this straight on the end of a MRT. It will go great. Unfortunately, I haven't had the most luck with hop-ups on the MRT. And what is going to fit the MRT is this. Similar to this. If you go put something like a Riser V2 on here, you're not going to be able to put your flashback on it over the top. So you could convert something like this to be a flash hide like that up to here. Up to you if you want to drill that out or do a whole heap of different things to it. Though what I'm going to do is actually use the DK hop up, the 13 that came with the actual inner barrel kit, and I'll stick this on the end here, and that will fit the flash on the end. So either way, come back and look out for the MSR metal piston kit review. I'm going to be installing that on the next episode, so check that one out. Thank you all for coming back. So sorry it's been a minute. It's been a bit busy through the Christmas period, but I hope that the gel blasting fun is still happening for you, and you still got the love for it. Come back and join us next time, fam. Peace, love, Oztrek.